Evening, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday night live stream, the chilled live stream. We're on episode 63, I believe. Before we get started, I just want to share with you the membership videos, and we'll jump straight into the ZBrush scene. So, give me 1 second, and I'll be right back.
So, you want to join my membership?
Gotcha. Sign up.
By joining, you won't only unlock members-only content, you'll also be supporting my channel and the growth of the community. Are you ready to do your part?
I'm doing my part.
For as little as a price of coffee a month,
God damn, Jimmy. This some serious gourmet
you'll be able to access all past live streams and get exclusive members-only content.
Yeah, boy.
That's less than 49p a video.
Shut up and take my money.
So if you're ready, join now and become part of this 3D journey.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Alright, so as you saw there, you can become a member of the YouTube channel, and you can unlock all the past live stream tutorial videos, which are the Monday videos, as well as you can unlock the full-length videos of my time-lapse videos from the past, sort of with background music, lo-fi background music, so you can watch in your own time and just see how I go from ZBrush to Photoshop to create artwork in real time. You can also become a Patreon, tier level 3. You'll be able to unlock exclusive Velociraptor tutorial on how to sculpt a Velociraptor from beginning to end. Great for beginners and for experienced artists. As well as the tutorial how to sculpt a golem inside of ZBrush using hard surface techniques, sculpting rock techniques. It's kind of a fun one just to break up from the Velociraptor before we go into part 2 of Velociraptor, which will be the low poly modeling and retopoing in a couple of weeks time. I think we should be coming up to that one soon. So if you haven't already, become a tier level 3 and you can unlock those two exclusive tutorials, as well as the Monday live stream tutorials and other videos as well. There's quite a lot going on there on the Patreon site, so if you want, you can go there and grab that. So let me, before we get started, turn on the chat. Boom. And let me put the music on. Alright, let's jump into the main stage. There we are. Cool. So, not last week, the week before that, we were kind of working on this Halo-inspired concept. I guess we started off with the sort of sci-fi suit, and then we just kind of pulled it as we started to bring more and more Halo themed images into the reference board. I'll just show you right here. So as soon as we started off around, where was it, on these 3 images really, and then we kind of started pulling more and more pieces in, and then I started to pull even more concepts of Halo. And so we eventually decided, screw it, we'll just go for the Halo theme because, you know, it's quite an iconic character. And yeah, so we've just been blocking out a Halo-inspired character. And now I'm not going to, like I mentioned before, I'm not going to go with the full-on retopo texture all the way through to full production with this one. This is kind of a, you think about this one as a conceptual visual piece, right? So a visual conceptual piece, I guess is what you could say. Basically just going to make this as nice as possible in a concept way, but then take this into Substance Painter and add some textures, and then take that into Marmoset Toolbag to render and see if we can come out with a nice looking render. I've just been going around the model, trying to get as much of the base armor sculpt finished, right? Because there's still quite a bit to do on it, and I'm trying to do it off the live stream as well, because it can take quite a long time to do hard surface stuff. But it's really the same techniques that I've been using with this character. So yeah, it's a bit of a slog having to do hard surface things. That's why I don't normally do a lot of hard surface sculpting, because it can take a very long time if you sort of do it this method, like in a conceptual sculpt way. There are other artists out there which are very good at hard surface sculpting, and they're probably a lot faster than I am. But as I mentioned before, in other videos, I'm more of a hard organic artist, so I like doing organic sculpting. So, but it's a nice little piece, a little piece of art that is separate to what I normally do. Yeah, it's quite interesting to go and do some hard surface stuff once in a while, and you should really do like some hard surface sculpting once in a while, just to, you know, expand your skill set. Now, a lot of artists might take the or start out the block out of this character inside of Maya or Blender, getting these very specific shapes, right, of the character that they want to sculpt. And they probably even have like a concept that they're working from when they do the block out. But if you don't have a block out and you kind of just want to, you know, work on a piece, see how it goes, see where it goes, see how it, get a feel for it, then this is another perfectly good way of doing it. If you've watched the other live streams, you'll see how we did it. We sort of took a mannequin from the light box and we just started to just add some clay to it, really, and then every so often we'll start to go down deeper and deeper, and then sort of pull things apart and then focus on one piece for a while, and eventually you'll build up all the layers that you're trying to achieve. But it's like I said, it's a very slow, methodical process. You also have to be very careful when doing hard surface that it actually makes sense. Hence why we went for a more Halo inspired style, because without concept. So I didn't actually have a concept for this character. I've just been doing it sort of by eyeball, really, using parts of references and parts of my own thoughts, more ideas. But yeah, it's perfectly what I was saying, when you're doing hard surface, you have to be careful that it actually makes sense and it will work in the real world. Otherwise it can be seen from a distance, you know, that it just wouldn't work. But what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is anything that's a hard surface has to have a soft piece in between. So if you're doing armor, you can't just have a full-on metal piece surrounding the whole thing. Otherwise it would just be impossible to move, right? Bend and rotate. That's why the Halo suit is so interesting to look at and to take as reference, because in between these hard plated pieces, even though you can't see it on this dude, let me just let's go to Mr. Chief down here. Even though it looks like it's hard surface in the middle, it's actually like more of a rubber latex type, well, not latex, but more of a hardened rubber sort of feel to it. You know, you can see on this guy here, it's kind of most of the in between the armor plating is like a rubber suit, which is kind of like this, and it's getting that balance right, and also making sure that the areas that have the most amount of bend and stretch on your character actually allow for that, right? So you're allowing that to happen in the in those areas. So you don't really want anything in the shoulders, in the groin, in the midriff, near any bendable arm pieces or legs. So anywhere where there's a joint that bends or rotates, you kind of want to keep that clear. and work your way around it. So there's another one here, kind of like a female version of a Spartan warrior. You can kind of see they went for the same thing, sort of keeping away from those very malleable areas or bend areas of great movement. So that's what we're trying to achieve with this one, and I'm hoping that we're getting, you know, getting a good result. I mean, like I mentioned, not a hard surface sculptor, so I think it's not too bad, to be fair. Get to the back here. So yeah, that's what we've been doing for the last couple of weeks or even months now, by the looks of it. And let me know in the comments, do you guys actually want me to carry on with this type of character all the way through? You're not bored yet of seeing this guy, developing this guy? Because I don't want to have, you know, a lot of people coming in and thinking, oh, he's still on this thing and not moved on. What's going on? You know, I mean, I could happily spend a lot of time working on this guy in order to make him look really good, and then taking it into the next stage. But if you guys are getting a bit more weary of this character and you want to see me move on to something else, sculpt something else, then let me know in the chat, and I'll take a look at that. A lot of this stuff in here, like this cavity area where the body sits, would actually be cut out for production, but because again it's a concept, really don't have to worry too much about that. So we'll just keep it nice and sort of filled in, no holes, just keep it filled in for now. There we are. Oh, and 2 weeks ago we actually did the majority of the body suit stuff. So if I just, where's all the body suit stuff? Okay, let me turn off everything so you can see. Kind of did some detailing to all the body suit stuff. Cool, look at that. Kadonk. So yeah, just adding some basic lines to the model, just to make it more interesting, and then obviously the rest of the suit sits over the top of it and kind of hides all those really rough areas away, so you don't have to worry too much. If it was an actual production piece, you'd probably have, like they have in the in here, you'll actually have a full-on character suit or body, right? And then you'd actually pull the geometry for the hard surface pieces or the armor pieces away, or extract that from this body piece, and always keep a actual body piece underneath. But we didn't do that. We went a different route. Okay, so just a couple of things to finish here. You can see it's kind of looking nice. It's got some nice shapes going at the moment. I've got some of the more difficult pieces done. I could probably spend a bit more time on the feet, but down here. But I think I'm not going to bother too much about that, because it's not something that we need to focus on too much, because we won't be going close to the feet, right? Later on, we're going to have like a nice character turntable or character turnaround. So the feet, not going to worry too much about that for now. Oh, we got a question here from Alt Fever. Alt Forever? Says, hi, first time caught the stream. The model is looking awesome. Can you give me some tips where to start HS sculpting? Hard surface sculpting, I guess. I'm currently scratching the basics of ZBrush. Ooh, okay. Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining the stream. The base, where to start? Wow, that's a good question. I think if you are looking to do stuff like this character, like the Halo inspired character or any armor plating type stuff like this, but you're more, and you're still sort of looking into how to use ZBrush, then I would start with an organic approach to hard surface sculpting, as we have been doing with this character here. So if you go into my live streams for the ZBrush playlist, you'll be able to find exactly where we started this character and follow along from there. I think so this is supposed to be a chilled session where I don't really do that much of a tutorial style, but it seems like every week I just keep talking about it like a tutorial. But yeah, if you go back to that, then you can kind of follow along and see how I do things. If you're a complete beginner, I don't know, I don't want to say hold off of hard surface sculpting, because it's quite a complex thing to get into. There are artists online, some YouTube artists. Oh, what was his name? Let me just try and find it on YouTube. 1 second. ZBrush hard surface techniques. Yeah, I mean, you could learn quite a lot really from the YouTube channel, YouTube tutorials. You can go to Abe Leal 3D. He's a great 3D artist. He shows you how to do the same thing we're doing here, how to clean up a hard surface inside of ZBrush from a organic styled sculpt. So what we've been doing here. You've also got Michael Pavlovich, I think his name is. He's got tons of stuff on how to use ZRemesher or ZModeler, sorry, the ZModeler basics, and you can learn how to do hard surface using ZModeler. I find that technique to be very difficult, especially if you are new to ZBrush, because it's not the same controls as you would have inside of Maya or Blender. It's a completely different way of working with the primitive shapes and extrusions and extractions and all that sort of thing. So go watch those tutorials. He's Michael Pavlovich. Let me just share the screen quick. So you see here, this is the YouTube. So you got Abe Leal 3D, who's really good. He's also got a great Discord channel. He's constantly uploading on there. The Michael Pavlovich, he's good to learn from, but he doesn't take you step by step, like by the hand. He's kind of it's a little bit more experienced artist inside of ZBrush, so people who know how to use the program. But you can still find a lot of good techniques. Just type in hard surface techniques inside of ZBrush, and you're bound to find plenty of tutorials on there. All right. But again, if you want, go watch those other live streams, my live streams in the live stream playlist ZBrush, I think it's called ZBrush Live, where you can follow along on this one, and I kind of go step by step with it really. It's good 4 or 5 hours, maybe more of this. So, and Tomorrow says, I quite like the fact things take as long as they take, but that's just me. It's probably why I never finish anything. Yeah, I know, but that's true, Thomas. Tomorrow. The thing is though, right? If I take my time with this, then I do the exact same thing as you said. I get bored, and then I want to move on to something else, and I don't really want to get that feeling with this character because I've done it with so many before, like hard surface characters before, and I don't really want to do the same thing with this character because I actually want to finish this character to a reasonably good standard. I'm not going to say perfect standard, but reasonably good. Because I think at some point I'm going to return to this character and make it a full-on game-ready type asset. So it'd be nice to have something to come back to that's pretty much what I want, but then I just need to do that few steps further to get it complete. Forever says, thank you for the recommendations. Also, ZModeler is a pure torture tool. Especially after Blender. I wonder who designed that. Yeah, someone who's a sadist, I think. It's just, it's not user friendly at all. But I'll tell you what, when you start to use it a lot, it kind of grows on you, right? It really does grow on you after a while. But yeah, definitely stay away from it for now, because it's definitely something, if you're a complete beginner or novice at ZBrush, I would just spend time learning the basic brush sets, which I constantly use, just the basic brush sets. Even after nearly 10 years of working on ZBrush, I still use the exact same types of brushes, and I don't really see the need to buy or learn, I guess, or learn like the complex ways of working. You can get around a lot of things just using the basic brush sets inside ZBrush. So, all right. I think one of the most important things about hard surface modeling, or sculpting in this case, is making sure that it's interesting to look at, right? Because you can make like a really cool suit, but if it doesn't look interesting, like the shapes don't look interesting, then it kind of falls flat on its face, I think. Just looking at this guy here, you can see, where is it? Okay, so you can see all these interesting shapes within the armor, right? It's not really like a cube and a block and whatnot. It's actually got quite a lot of complexity within these shapes. And if you can nail some nice complex shapes at the beginning, like what we're doing right now, then all those other little bits and bobs should be easy enough to sort out afterwards. So yeah, I'm using a lot of H polish at the moment. If you're trying to figure out what brush I'm using a lot of H polish, the Alt button and the normal button, the Z add and Z subtract. A lot of people forget about that, by the way. That it's kind of a little dance between Z add and Z sub when you're sculpting. It's not always just one, and then once you've done just the one brush for a while, you then swap over to the alternative, which is the minus or the Z add. When you're sculpting, it should be like it should come to you fluently after a while. It's going to be quite difficult to do at the beginning, but just sculpting in and then sculpting out. Let me show you what I mean by that, because you're probably thinking, what the hell is he talking about? So if we come take this arm at this leg piece, if I'm sculpting, right, like that, that's just with Z add. But if you can learn to use Z add and Z sub at the same time, so Z add and then Z sub with the Alt button on the keyboard to push backwards, and then Z add to add more. If you can learn to master Z add Z sub when you're sculpting, instead of using smooth brush, which I very highly recommend that you don't use too often, because it just destroys all the detail. But if you can learn to use Z add and Z sub together, then you know every brush will be easier to master, basically. You probably see, you probably can't see it because I move quite fast, but I am actually using Z add and Z sub simultaneously together to actually detail this guy. Alt forever says, well, I guess if I want to focus more on armor modeling, then Z modeler is not really useful there. No, you're right, it's not. But if you want pristine, clean models, then the next stage after this, so after this stage, you would actually take this to well, there's Okay, so you can sculpt your model like this, quite close to exactly how you like it, right? But if you turn on, let me just move this out the way. If you turn on, what is it? This one, Fab Sketch or Flat Sketch 1, and you zoom in, right? And you have a look at your model. You can see that the surface of your model is just, it's not clean, it's not precise, right? It's actually very noisy, and when you render your model, it's going to come out noisy. I'm wondering if there's another. Yeah, so you can see here it's quite pixelated because we're still quite low resolution, but if you were to find a material in here that's got a bit of, is it specular blend, you can sometimes see the uneven surface of your model, right? Whereas when it comes time, so we did a little bit of Z model on here. When it comes time to actually get a very clean model on your character, so if I subdivide this a couple of times, oops, wait a second, turn on the lines, and that's odd. Let me just 1 second. Crease borders. Subdivide. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit weird on the sides, but don't worry about the sides. We're not too worried about that. So once you finished your high poly sculpt, which is this piece here, say on the belt, then you'd actually take Z Modeler and then start to basically retopo, but it's not retopo precisely because that's what you do inside of Maya. It's a lot easier inside of Maya, although 2026 ZBrush does have better Z modeler, low poly modeling techniques inside of ZBrush. So I haven't had time to check that out because I don't have that license. But what you essentially do is use Z modeler to get this shape, which is a clean model. You can see how clean it is, and there's techniques inside of Z modeler that you'd need to use in order to get that shape to work properly. I'll probably make a video at some point showing you how I do that and the sort of techniques that I do with that, but it's quite a complex thing to get right, because it involves quite a few steps that you have to go through sort of step by step, and if you don't do it properly, or if you skip a step, then it's going to break it. Hence why I don't do hence why I don't do a lot of hard surface sculpting, because there's certain rules to the sculpting when it comes to hard surface that you cannot get away with, like you can with what do you call it, organic sculpting. So, all right, not too bad. Now, I think that's as far as the Z modeling or the sculpting side of things I want to do. So the next stage is to essentially, because it's still Dynamesh, right? Essentially what I do is, what's going on there? Z-remesh this, but I'd create a duplicate first. So I'm going to duplicate the chest piece first. Onto Z modeler or geometry. Let's check out Z-remesh. Turn off the adaptive curve and strength. Let's detect edges. I'm just going to try this out. It's got symmetry turned on. Let's see what this comes out like. Okay, not bad. It came out quite nice, actually. I think the adaptive size and the curve strength. I think the curve strength, in particular, is better used for organics than it is for hard surface. I mean, that didn't come out too bad. You got some nice work going on here, but I wonder if we can make it a little stronger. So I'm going to up the polygon count for this one. All right, not bad, not bad. So once we have something like that, I just want to see if this will work, because this is what the technique I've been using for a while, especially when it comes to sort of hard surfaces that are next to each other, and you want the polygroups for the different faces or different faces of the surface, of the hard surface. So let's just try this. I'm just going to group by normals. You can see what that's trying to do, right? So it's getting the angle of the normals. It does, sometimes it does a really good job, sometimes it does a really bad job. Okay, interesting. Okay, it's going to take probably not the best way to use this technique. Let's see. Yeah, it's just too many angles, I think, and not enough definition in those angles for it to pick up those crisp edges very well. So let's just Control W, and let me just try turning on the high poly model underneath. So we now have our low poly model underneath the high poly model. And what I'm going to do is we're just going to project that detail. So just come over to geometry, turn off the color. Don't need to put the color because there's no color on it. I'm just going to project that detail onto the low. Now I go up in stages, and I think I've told you this 1,000 times before, but going up in stages is actually better than going up, subdividing up to the highest level and then projecting, because every time you subdivide, the model actually shrinks. So in order to keep it as flush as you can to the high poly model, it's best to subdivide, which will shrink it, and then project that back up, and then subdivide, project, that sort of thing. Okay, let's have a look at what that looks like. Turn that to white. Just use the smooth brush very lightly. Okay. Now this is the same technique I'm using now that I would use for my organic stuff, right? It's basically just doing a quick ZBrush and then projecting all that detail onto the cleaner topology, as we have here. And with the cleaner topology, you can actually get a better, a higher subdivision level, but also have a cleaner look to your model. And I'm just going to use a pinch brush to actually dam standard. H polish. Okay, so yeah, once you got to this stage, it's just going back over all these edges with the H polish and cleaning up the model. It sounds really boring, but it's just one of those things that you'll have to do. Of course, you could just come over to the deformation down here and just hit polish, and that'll try to polish your model as best it can. Try polish by crisp edges. You probably actually get about 95% of the way there using this, so probably worth having a look at. It's just going to go around and polish those pesky areas, I think, and just pull those together. But as I mentioned before, not looking for perfect geometry. I'm just looking for a nice model to take into Substance Painter, which will work well with the baking. And then we're going to sort of try to do some texture work that will hopefully enhance the sort of look of it a bit more as a hard surface piece. Oh, Alt Forever says, how long you've been doing 3D and are you self-taught or finished some kind of college? So I've been doing 3D professionally now for nearly 10 years. I think I started in 2011. 2011, because I graduated in 2012, but I self-taught when I was at university. So yeah, I'm basically self-taught when it comes to 3D and video editing and all these other things. I kind of taught myself how to do it because I didn't want to pay anybody apart from the university. But I tell you, if I had the chance to go back, I would go back and take my money back, because if I'd known that I could do all this at home, and you got to remember 2010, 2011, when I was at university, YouTube wasn't as big as it is now, right? And so when it came to learning things, you really had to search the internet to find a good tutorial. But not just a good tutorial, it had to be a tutorial that actually finished, because back in the day, free tutorials would just sort of, they would just stop after a while. You know, you'd be following along online, and then it would say, okay, the next episode we're gonna look at this, or the next sort of tutorial we'll look at this, and then there was no tutorial. It was just, there was no video, and so you're stuck holding, you know, with this work that you've been doing, and there's nothing to there's no one there to help you sort of finish it. So you kind of had to search the website, search other websites and stuff to try and find a alternative way of finishing it. It's a pain in the ass back then. Not like today, when you have live streamers just streaming this stuff 24/7. I tell you, it's such a good time to be someone trying to learn this stuff, because the amount of free videos out there, it's unbelievable. Okay, so let's just have a look. Just gonna turn the symmetry off, so you can see the difference. It's not a massive difference, but there's a difference. There's a cleaner. You can see the a cleaner look on the right hand side from the left hand side, which is just a basic sculpt. We're now going into this sort of territory on this model where we're really going to clean and high polish this to a good standard, and just using the move brush with AccuCurve on to get those really fine movements, precise movements on your model. But yeah, I mean, this is not a bad piece for a start of a game model or portfolio piece. Yeah, kind of see the cleaner version on the right hand side there. Oh goodness, got so many questions on. Comics Legend, hey, I wouldn't try to get it perfect in the block out and instead do those final tweaks when it has be retopolized. Yeah, very true. The block out, now I normally go really far with the block out. I don't know why, I just keep going really far. I think it's because when I do organics, I tend to try and get as much as I can done in the Dynamesh before I lock in on a clean model to sculpt, right? So that kind of goes into my hard surface sort of sculpting as well, like it's a bad habit. But Comics Legend is right. If you're gonna do hard surface modeling the way I'm doing it, you could probably do like 50% less than what I've done, and then take it in and retopo it to get it done quicker. But because it's kind of like just a fun piece we're working on, I really wanted just to yeah, get it looking nice from as many angles as possible. So hopefully it's not going to be too bad in that respect. But Comics Legend is right. If you were to take the one on the left hand side and retopoed it 3 lessons ago or 3 live streams ago, then you could still get the same exact results as you can on the right hand side. Just gonna move that back and then hide it. Right. Hey, Joseph says, is there any method to enhance the imagination? I mean, you usually share your inspiration regarding a character, but still you always create something original. Is there any way to train the sense? That's a tough one. I don't know, actually. When it comes to creatures designs, what I like to do is I like to look at a lot of references that are already out there, and I mean even AI references, right? Because you can still find some interesting looking shapes and designs, even if it's AI. And then what I like to do is I like to take parts of different pieces and sort of marry them together. But a lot of my sort of imagination, I guess, a lot of the stuff from my imagination, I don't know. I think it's just because I've just got a lot of thoughts in my head for creature designs and stuff like that. So yeah, I can't really train it. You could probably train it. Actually, you could watch a lot of movies like creature features and documentaries on filmmaking for creature films and stuff like that. You can look at wildlife videos, you know, David Attenborough, the creatures in the deep and stuff like that. You know, the sort of what was that one? Planet Blue, I think it was, or Planet Earth. Well, I know he did Planet Earth, but there was also like a Planet Blue where he goes to the deep seas and look at the weird creatures under there. But yeah, there's plenty of things to take as inspiration. It's just whether or not you can do it or have the sort of thought process to do it. You know, it's difficult to come up with something original because everything's been done so far. I think anyway. I think everything's been done, to be fair. I mean, I look at films. I look at music, art. It all seems like it's already been done. I guess iterating on something that's already been done is probably easier than iterating on something completely new. But you know, with something that's completely new, there's nothing to compare it with, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird one. I might just be rambling now, but I think yeah, just in order to train your imagination, I think you kind of, I don't want to say you have to be born with it, but it does help if you were a very inquisitive child when it came to creature design or artwork in general. Like creating art is also a way of teaching or your imagination and training your imagination. Is if you like to do art. It doesn't have to be this sort of art. It could be, you know, traditional type arts and stuff. Playing a musical instrument can help you with your imaginations, I guess, something like that. Plenty of things to help you. But I would recommend, you know, watching some David Attenborough or how they made it films, like the documentaries on how they make films and creature features and stuff like that. It always helps have that on in the background. And also maybe in the mornings before you start your concept, just take a few minutes to go on ArtStation and just flip through ArtStation and just see what everyone else is doing, and sort of collect like artworks that you like in your own folder, like in the like folder, or save it into your own personal folder, and just open that up every now and then and just have a look at pieces that you enjoy looking at and designs that you enjoy looking at, and see if you can imitate it. Because that's what I also like to do. When I get stuck for like a creature design, I like to just take something that someone's already done, maybe like a 2D version of something, like a concept that they've already done, and then just sculpt it, or try to sculpt it as closely as possible. Because then you don't have to think of anything, Coach says, I agree, I would have just learned with online courses back then, but like you mentioned, the availability wasn't really there. They did have GNOME DVDs. Yeah, I remember GNOME. Yeah, but I could never pay for those DVDs. It was so expensive. Alt4 says, yeah, studying gets easier year by year. It was such a bummer when I graduated and the next year AI came out, and it would be so nice to have an It would be so nice to have an explanation to some stuff that I couldn't find answer to. Yeah, that's why I do these Thursday chat like live streams, just to chill and talk the shit, even about AI as well. In fact, I actually wanted to talk about that with you guys again, because I know we've mentioned it before in the past, and everybody, there's a love-hate relationship with AI when it comes to the art world, I guess. I have a topic I wanted to ask you guys, because I kind of been looking at AI over the last couple of days, and just want to know what you guys think about it as well, but I'll get to that in a minute. Tomorrow says, when it comes to creativity, I suppose you are what you eat, but it does help to have some creative strategies when things run dry. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Tomorrow. Yeah, it is what you eat. If you're never inquisitive about the sort of things that you're interested in, then you can't really put that into your work, can you? I guess. But anyway, AI. That's what I was going to say. So, my friend, I won't name him, but he recently made a short AI film, right? Like a short film, a trailer, using AI technology online. And I'll be honest with you, it got me thinking, how hard or how difficult is it to actually create an AI film? So I went online this last week, in my spare time, and I started looking at different on YouTube, because you could just look on YouTube for everything. But anyway, I looked on YouTube on AI artwork or AI filmmaking, and I gotta tell you, it's not as easy as you might think. When people think AI is a sort of lazy man's job, anyone can do it, I don't know about that. I have to say, I think AI is actually very difficult to get right. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people that could just pick it up and go with it. I think it's going to frustrate a lot of people. If it was to become mainstream, it's going to frustrate the hell out of people who are trying to learn it. I think it's going to be just like trying to learn ZBrush again, or a 3D program, because it's not just one program, right? When it comes to creating AI film, it's multiple online programs and softwares that you need to use in order to get the result that you want, or get a good enough result that will look good and consistent. Because AI still has teething problems, and I'm sure that it's going to fix it very soon. You know, the continuity between characters, the sort of hands and the motion and that sort of thing. It's still a little rickety, even though there are programs now that are very much getting close to, or very close to, proper film style sort of look and feel. So it got me thinking, how long is it? Would it really be cheating if an artist, myself, were to use AI to create a short film, 5-minute film? By the way, 5-minute film in AI could be like 500 15-second clips to make 5 minutes worth of film, because of the amount of times you have to iterate the film in order to get the exact shot that you like. I was just thinking, would it be cheating if I used a character or creature from my own concepts that I have already, create a short 5-minute film using my concept? Because at the moment I've created a lot of characters over the last 4 years, and they're kind of just sitting in folders doing nothing. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have the time to, or the studio requirements to film anything, right? But if you could use something like an AI generator to help you, how bad is that actually going to be really? Because I mean, filmmakers, you could be like a mini filmmaker, making mini films, and then you could stitch them all together at the end, so you can like make mini episodics, right, using AI. That's the kind of thing that I was thinking of. So the first film would be 15 to 30 seconds short teaser trailer of the idea as I learn it, and as you create more and more episodes, they get a little longer, so longer and longer. So it's kind of like when Astartes, right? Remember the guy who made Astartes? When he started, his first film was very short, right? It wasn't very long at all. And as people started to see it more and more, and they started to like it more and more, he started to make the films a little longer here and there. And I think something like the idea that I have, I don't think it's cheating per se, because I think we're gonna have to face facts, guys. AI, even though there are rumblings online that AI is going to crash at some point, AI is here to stay. And I think the sooner people jump on it to at least learn the process on how things are done, because there's a lot of people still saying that, oh, AI is easy, and you're taking jobs away and all that sort of thing, which is true. There are jobs going away or being lost to AI. But at the same time, you have these well, they are artists. I'm going to say they are artists because they used to work in the VFX industry until AI took over, and then they were kicked, right? They were kicked out of the studios. And so what they did was combat those studios by starting to use AI at home to create mini movies. And I think that's going to be the future. I reckon that will be the future of entertainment. It's going to be a massive AI revolution, especially like I said, as AI becomes more and more advanced and easier to use. Those people that have been using it already are going to be miles ahead of everyone else at this point, right? And they are. I've seen someone use AI to composite his YouTube videos from scratch. So all he does is input the raw material, the raw footage and raw audio. He taps a button with a couple of prompts that he's made, and the AI does all the work for him. Now imagine how much faster your life would be if you were a content creator and you had that sort of technology at your side. You know, you could just say, oh, you do that whilst I go and have a cup of coffee, or I work on the next script for the next YouTube video. And when he was showing me what this was doing, I think it's the cloud, AI cloud tool. What he was showing was just, this thing is just unbelievable. Very basic commands, but what it could do is just crazy. Let me just check the comments section before I go on any further. Comments section says, I have done some tests doing AI films. The thing is, there is so many different workflows and it keeps changing. You can waste a lot of time if you don't have the right workflow. It also makes mistakes. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I've seen that quite a lot. Comments also says it's like a lottery in some ways because you have to keep trying until something looks good. You see, you're right about that, but there are other programs and prompt techniques that these film AI writers, film writers, or film directing, or AI directors, let's call them, right? There are prompts that they have which seem to work very well with keeping the continuity going. But actually, you know what? I'm going to just find it real quick. I'll put a link in the chat to this video. If you have time, check this guy out and his channel, and just watch this video. Let me just see if I can find it. I can't remember where it was. Oh, AI Video School. That's the guy's name. He had a very specific. Oh no, it wasn't him. It was someone else. Leonard Smith. That's the one. I'll just pull this over. So this guy, right? Watch this one, the full breakdown of an AI film. It's the second one in his video. It's this one here, right? Also the Bone Throne AI short made film as well. That's what the end result is. But just watch this one here, and you'll see exactly how difficult things are for in order to use AI properly. Because anybody could just throw an image into AI and say, oh, just animate this for me, please. And it'll try its best, right, to do what you ask. But what he does, there's a certain scene in the making that he's showing where he's got a guy who's he's a couple of guys, sorry. It's a couple of guys who are sharpening their weapons, but when he first prompted AI to do this sort of 5-second video of a guy sharpening his weapon, fucking chaos was going on all around him, right? So what he did was he took the first frame of the shot, took it into Photoshop, and then also used Nano Banana, I think it's Nano Banana, and regenerated the characters so they were high definition images of those characters, because AI works, but I think AI works better with really high definition images to read. And then what he did was he put that into the image. He composited those characters back into that final first image that he had, the first frame, and then he plugged that back into the AI generator, and then told it to do, and then gave it a couple more prompts. And he had about 10 mini videos, or 10 videos, sorry, of this specific shot to get the one he desired. Again, hit and miss, but in the future, what, a year from now, 2 years from now, maybe 6 months from now, with the way that they're creating this technology, you might not even have to worry about having to regenerate that same video, right, over and over again. So again, check his work out. Oh, forgot to put the link in. 1 second. Let's try and find that again. This one. Share. Copy the link. I'll put this in the chat. So there's the video, the link to the video. Go check it out in your spare time, and just see how hard it is for an AI director to actually get under 5 minutes of film footage. You'll be surprised how much he actually spent to get what he had at the end, right? And that's only 5 minutes. It's crazy. Alt4 says, you got to prompt it right, and it should be threaded as a tool, treated as a tool, quite a powerful one, and you can't fight a progress. He also says, wow, that's the first time I hear a common sense about AI from an artist, not just you. AI is bad, you're not an artist. I will be honest, I did think that at the beginning, but as time goes on, you're gonna have to, you know, come to the reality. Even though if you're a die-hard artist, you're gonna have to come to a reality that at some point you're gonna have to take the step forward, right? You're gonna have to step forward into what will be the unknown. I mean, what's gonna be after AI? Who knows, right? Who knows? Comic Spec says the mistakes I'm talking about are like a character holding a flashlight in the scene. He all of a sudden sprouts another arm with another flashlight. Yeah, those are difficult, but there are things such as continuity sheets or character sheets that you can create, where you kind of have a character and you have a couple of shots of the character in different angles. I think Banana 2 or Nano Banana 2 does really well with that. They kind of fixed that issue with different camera angles and continuity. So give that a look as well. Alt4 says, well, I got to go. Wish could have stayed for longer. Have a good stream. Oh, well, thank you for staying this long. Have a good night. Comic says, a lot of those AI content creators are sponsored by the AI companies. In my experience, you burn through credits very quickly, iterating. It can get expensive if you keep trying to tweak it right. Yeah, exactly. The movies that look good spent a lot of credits to get it right. Yeah. Spoiler alert: he spent a hell of a lot of money. Well, yeah, it is actually quite a lot of money, because if it's your own money, like $500, he did it in dollars, I think, something like $500 for 5-minute film, just because he needed the credits. Yeah, it's outrageous. But I guess, will it become cheaper later because more people will be using it? Or would it become more expensive, or a subscription fee because more people are going to use it? Who knows? You know, who knows? Maybe that will be the downside to AI, right? The more common it becomes, the harder AI will have to keep up with demand. The more likely they could run into crashes or memory failure and stuff like that. So either way, it's kind of a win-win for everyone. it's a win if we could make films that, if anyone could make a film, or the artists jump on it first and become fluent with it and create their own mini films or mini sort of episodics, right? Then that's a win for them, because they can then kind of try to monetize it some way, or get noticed in the industry. Or it's another win if people start to use it more often. Data centers can't keep up with the payload, and it all crashes down, and then we just go back to ZBrush. Yeah, that's how I see it. Either way you split it, someone's gonna win. What the color? So yeah, that's just my thoughts. My idea. I forgot. Right, let me just get it up 1 second. Where is it? There it is. So do you guys remember? Let me just load it up properly. So you guys remember this guy that I created? This demon? I kind of went full board and finished them all, and made a full-on sort of turnaround character of him, right? I sort of made a full-on design on him. Well, this is my idea for a short AI film. First one will be a 30-second teaser. The idea is this thing is chasing someone through the woods, a backpacker or hiker, through the woods. You don't really see him until near the end. And so it will be a lot of cool camera angle shots in the woods, sort of a horror theme to it, right? And then the next episode would be the backpacker get into a house, maybe, I don't know, something like that, and hiding from this thing, and searching through the house, searching through the rooms. And then the third episode will be he opens a door, and through that door is a portal to, well, he doesn't know this, but he's basically walking into hell. He's sort of walking into darkness, and then he comes out the other end, and it's not like the typical hell that you might think with fire and brimstone and all that sort of thing. It's more like Stranger Things, the upside down. It's that kind of hell. And then he basically finds himself in an upside down type setting, and this guy basically he's sort of standing in the distance, sort of just his movements will be that of sort of cracking of his bones. He's not like a fluent moving character. He'll be more of a stiff puppetry, so kind of like where every time he clicks his neck forward and stuff like that. I don't know, that's sort of the idea I had, but yeah, that's the creature I want to go with. Got to try and find time to learn this stuff, but yeah, it'll be quite nice. To do at some point, to really try to utilize AI and maybe try it out. Because it wouldn't be that bad to have an AI film or AI short film in your portfolio, especially when AI is becoming more and more used, especially when it comes to companies like Disney or Warner Brothers, Marvel Studios. Apparently, I'm not 100% sure. I heard this on the grapevine, but Marvel Studios are apparently using AI in the latest Doctor Doom, in the latest Avengers Doomsday film. So, if the main studios are starting to utilize this technology, then they're obviously going to need artists that at least know how to use the programs or the technology. So, again, I have been against AI in the past, but I think at some point we're all going to have to just bite the bullet and at least test it. Test it out. because as far as I'm aware, it's here to stay, and you might as well just try it. Copystone says, hopefully it gets cheaper and an efficient workflow is developed that works at a higher percentage. Yeah, you could put in that demon and have it animated with grok image. Imagine. Yeah. Definitely want to try all that. As soon as I get other things done. I'm so busy with client work at the moment and other commitments like the YouTube commitments and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely want to get something made in AI, I think. Just to test it. And I've got to be honest, like the AI videos are becoming very, very good. Like they're really starting to scare normal artists, I think. I saw another documentary online about Hollywood. Hollywood Boulevard. Is it Hollywood Boulevard? The one with all the stars, Walk of Fame sort of thing on the floor. Don't know how long ago it was made, but it looks like a proper dive, you know. The Hollywood Boulevard looks like a proper dive now. It doesn't look very safe to walk around. It looks like a lot of the stores and shops have closed up, and the only ones that are there are the ones like touristy type ones and stuff. But oh, I forgot to polish one. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if anybody lives in Hollywood. Are they seeing the decline of Hollywood in real time? Because from that documentary, from what I saw in that documentary, it looked like Hollywood was in deep trouble. People just packing up and leaving by the looks of it. Everybody looking forward to the weekend, by the way? Anybody got any plans? Can't believe it's bloody Thursday tonight. Swear to God, it was like Monday yesterday. Oh, it's Mother's Day weekend. Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. God. I'm not too worried about the cleanliness just yet because I haven't subdivided it to the next stage yet, so I think that's a pretty good. The pants are pretty good. Agile Valiant 31 says, I couldn't watching this live. Work 6 a.m. tomorrow, but just to say I'm a fan of your arts and I hope to find work in a studio like you. Sorry for my English. See you next live. No problem, mate. I have bad English as well, but thank you very much for staying this long. Sorry you have 6 o'clock work. That sucks, man. But yeah, fingers crossed for you as well for the studio stuff. Thanks for being a fan. Tomorrow says, had a picnic for a second and then realized you weren't talking about... Oh, panic. Picnic. Bloody hell. Panic. Weren't talking about UK Mother's Day. Oh, realized you weren't talking about UK Mother's Day. Oh, I just forgot it was Mother's Day, that's all. I think I've been more worked up about the whole local elections. I completely forgot about Mother's Day. I don't know if you guys know, but there's currently local elections. Now, I know people are going to say, local elections, the hell, But local elections are very important, especially right now in England, with the with the current government in power. These local elections are going to be very important to see what the general election will be like moving forward. It's kind of like setting up the chess pieces on the table, and we're going to find out just how those chess pieces are going to be arranged by tomorrow morning in the future. It's kind of like a prediction of what the future will hold. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't talk politics much, or try not to on this show or on this live stream, because it's a very touchy subject for some. But I kind of see the elections in England like Game of Thrones, like the Game of Thrones at the moment, especially with this group of government officials. It's very backstabby, and what's going to happen and who's going to take control and all that sort of thing. It's very interesting. I never was interested in politics until the last election, and now it's just like I can't stay away from it. It's kind of like my soap opera, you know how people have soap operas that they watch, and they have to know exactly what's happening every single day or every single episode. That's kind of like how I see the government at the moment. It's kind of like a soap opera, a really bad one. Joseph says, in Hungary, it was last Sunday. Oh, Mother's Day was last Sunday. Well, there you go. Okay, I think that's pants done. I'm gonna start putting these other ones in a new folder called Old Topo. Just so I don't get them mixed up. Oh, that's going to look real smart. Hold on, let me just turn the bodies on. Oh no, what have I done? Turn those on, turn these off. Yeah, that's going to look smart. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to... Before the next live stream, I will polish all these pieces, because it's, it can be quite boring just watching this process, but it's the same process as I'm going to use for the rest of the body. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the whole thing off live stream and clean up those extra body pieces, those extra pieces that we had, that we still need to do. right? Because, as I said, it's going to take a while to do all these pieces and make sure that they're nice and neat. But come next Thursday, we should be in a good position to retopo everything, which we already are, so that'll be done. And then take it into Substance Painter and do some sculpting, texturing inside of inside Substance Painter. Yeah. Agile Valiant says, "Oh, I had a question to ask you. What do you think about 3D art schools now that the market is saturated? What would you say to a young person who wants to enroll in one of these very expensive schools?" Ooh, yeah, I would. If you have the money, that's a difficult one. If you're rich and you have the money, then there's nothing wrong with going to one of these schools. If you're not rich and you don't really want to get into debt, I mean, bit of hypocrite because I am in debt because of university, but that was before I knew better. I would probably not go to school, a 3D school. You can learn quite a lot on your own if you have the willpower to sit in front of a computer for hours on end and just dedicate yourself to learning everything and anything that you want, or specifically that you want in 3D, and become the master of it, then I wouldn't bother going to a 3D school. I keep talking about this story that I have. When I was working at NPC, which was quite a while back, there was a guy that worked there as well. His name was Luke Starkey, or Luke Stark. You might remember him, or you might know him. One second, I'll try and find his art station. I'll just show you his art station. Right, so this guy, Luke Stark, worked at NPC as a creature artist, modeler. He was a creature modeler. He didn't do anything but model, right? And his artwork was so good. He wasn't 18. He was a couple of years younger than me. Yeah, well, probably he would have been 18 or 19, right? 18, 19, and he was getting paid. But if you could get your artwork to look like this, you could definitely get a good 80k a year to 100k a year job in the studio. That was back then, obviously. I mean, depending on what the situation is in studios these days, if they're going to go for a massive hiring boom, and if your work looks like this and you dedicate yourself to sculpting creatures or texturing creatures or hard surface modeling, doesn't matter what it is in 3D, if you could dedicate yourself to any specific thing, I would go for organic, to be honest. But if you can dedicate yourself to working hard and getting a portfolio that looks like this, then there's no reason why you should have to go to a 3D art school. I don't think he ever went to university, this guy. So he stayed at home for 4 years learning how to sculpt in ZBrush. Doesn't have any debt, and then got like a 80,000 to 100,000 pound, 80,000 to 100,000 pound job before I was, and he was younger than me. So, you know, it's definitely possible to not have to go to university to learn this stuff. And I would actually encourage people not to go to university to learn this stuff, and instead, you know, learn from artists that are on YouTube, because a lot of the artists on YouTube, I mean, I don't do it for a living. I don't do YouTube for a living. I just do it as a side hustle, side project, side thing. But there are other ones on YouTube, other people on YouTube who do it for a living, and they are constantly uploading ways to sculpt, to learn programs, and they have the professional knowledge. Universities lecturers, by and large, depending on which university you go to or what 3D school you go to, if you go to a specific 3D school, you're probably lucky to have someone who's worked in the industry. But if you go to one of these universities, like, I don't want to put any on the spot, but if you go to majority of universities, like smaller universities or whatever, the likelihood that you have a lecturer that's actually been in the industry is slim. I remember this one lady that was 2 years below me, so when I was in third year uni, she was in her first, or maybe she was the second year. Anyway, she just recently, I say just recently, it's about a year ago, 2 years ago, so kind of recent. Anyway, she just recently got her master's, and now she's going to lecture at the same university that I went to. So she's going to teach people how to be game artists, and she's never had a job in the games industry. So that should actually tell you how much knowledge these university lecturers have, right, when it comes to game design, film design, anything art related. They don't have no idea what's out there in the industry. If you ask them to make a character, they make it wrong because they haven't had that experience. So I wouldn't really recommend going to university, because it's just a way to give the university mass amounts of money and get into debt for like 25 years or whatever. It's not worth it. Instead, support other artists. Support other artists by joining their channels and learning from actual professionals, you know. Like I said near the beginning of this live stream, when I was at university, I would have given my left arm to have someone like me right now on this live stream giving you the real scoop on the industries and the workloads and what to expect and how to sculpt things. And I'm doing this pretty much for free right now, you know. But I do take money if you want to become a member. It's only $4.99 a month. And you'll probably get more out of this, hopefully, than you would sitting in a lecturing room, because at the end of the day, if you need to learn how to sculpt something in ZBrush and you don't have a lecturer there because there's either nobody there or they're not at the studio that day, then what are you going to do? Oh, that's right, you're going to turn on YouTube and you're going to learn how to do it through YouTube. So you might as well not even bother going to university and just learn it on YouTube, really. It makes no difference. You could save yourself $9,000 a year. $9,000 a year. Put that $9,000 into your future software, stuff like that, and you know, keep it. Don't give it to the universities. Comics Legend says, do you happen to have a full complete tutorial package of your dragon? Which dragon are we talking? Are we talking about the dragon heart dragon? Because that's the tutorial, members only tutorial. You can find that on the members only tutorial, the dragon heart dragon. That's the only full dragon I have, I think. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so I hope I haven't put you down on a bummer, on a downer, sorry, about universities. But I just find that they are just money takers. You know, they're money grabbers. It's kind of scammy what they do. really. I find it quite scanny. Conversation says, did you do the retopo on the dragon and substance textures? So I haven't done it for the dragon heart. I was thinking after the the Doom character, the Prowler. My voice is going. After we do the Prowler tutorial, we can maybe jump back to the Dragonheart character and take it onto Retopo inside of Maya, and then onto Substance Painter, where we can actually do the substance painting for it as well. It's one of those ones that I definitely want to return to and finish off, really. Master Splinter says, bit of a personal horror story. Spent 190k for 4 years of art school and couldn't get a job in the industry. Good education, but I didn't have the experience any studios look cool. 190k. Where the hell did you go for university? That's unbelievable, man. Did you? I mean, you don't have to answer it, but did you manage to pay it off yet, or how much have you paid off enough, or have you started like? I mean, yeah, that sucks, man. Master Splinter said, learn ZBrush on YouTube, and going back, I would have done that from the get-go and saved the cash. Yeah, 190k, damn. You could have bought a house. Well, a really shitty house. If you're in England, you would have been able to buy a flat, basically, or a cardboard box. But yeah, that's unbelievable, man. I'm sorry you found out the hard way. Art institutes, I have paid it off. Luckily, I had some grants to help with it, and went, oh wow, thank God for that. I wouldn't even begin to imagine what the interest on the 190k student loan would be. I think that's pretty much an end of life sort of thing. Gotta be careful what I say on YouTube, but you know what I mean. It begins with an S. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Yeah, I wouldn't make that mistake. I definitely wouldn't make that mistake of spending 190k on something that you can learn on. I mean, they're shysters. The universities are shysters. I don't know if it's a university or if it's an art school. If it's an art school, even then, it's still shit. It's still shit, isn't it? It's still a shit deal. You're getting. I don't think any school is worth it. I mean, you said that even with the experience of the school or your degree or whatever it is, or diploma, that it was still hard to find a place to work in the industry, because again, they want experience, so they don't take into account university or anything education wise when it comes to experience. By the way, they want actual experience, like life experience. Damian Smith says, I'm in school right now in WA doing game design and development. Learning ZBrush is one of the funniest things. What's WA? What's WA? Is that in America? One of the funniest. It's funny, yeah, it's a funny thing. But it's a fun thing, I think. It's a pain in the ass when you begin it, but yeah. Master Splinter says YouTube University is the way to go for sure if wanting to go into a creative field. And my teachers were still in the industry at the time with Unreal and game studios, but still didn't help any. Hey, at least you had teachers that possibly worked at the studio. Now you see, it's okay if they say that if they say that they worked in the industry. How long? How long did they work in the industry? Because sometimes someone will say, "Oh, I've worked in the industry, and now I'm going to go and teach," but they might have just done like one game or one film or one TV series, and they think, "Okay, I've got enough experience, and I'm going to go teach." It's not exactly like being in the trenches, you know. I think that lecturers should not be people who've never had actual experience. They should always have, like, if you're gonna have someone to lecture, they have to have grey hair, basically. That's how I'd say it. Oh, Damien says Washington State, and I meant the learning curve was crazy. I'm starting to get the hang of it. Though, love your channel. First time catching your live stream. Oh, thank you. What time is it in Washington, by the way? Because yeah, I kind of start at 8:45 or 8:25 English time here in the afternoon, and I think I get quite a lot of people from America joining my lives, or watching my videos, really. So it's interesting to catch someone who's actually watching it from the stateside, because I'm normally in bed by now. Getting bloody old. Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you guys can remember to just check that you're still subscribed to my channel. Apparently YouTube is going through one of its hissy fits at the moment, and they're kind of bombing a bunch of channels. So yeah. Oh, entertainment, what's it say? I can't read names. Entertainment Jerk says same here. Damien says it's 2:07 p.m. Entertainment says I'm catching at 2:30 a.m. Wow, that's crazy. So wait, 2:30 p.m., 2:30 a.m. You both in America? Are you? Well, is one of you on the east side, one of you on the west side? I don't know. America's so big; it's got so many different time zones. It's unbelievable. We've only got one here. Kind of boring in that respect. Oh, you're in Mumbai. Oh, okay. Entertainment Jerk is in Mumbai. Oh, all right, cool. Yeah, you've got a lot of Indian people watching my channel as well. A lot of them. They quite like the stuff as well. I do. Oh, by the way, Entertainment Jerk, did you get a chance to watch a film called, what was it, Munja, by any chance? Let me know in the comments if you did. Yeah, I worked on the character design for that guy when I was working at DNEG. Says yes. Let me just pull it up for those who don't know. I'll pull it up. I'll show you guys. So Munja. I don't know if we can watch a trailer, but maybe you can watch it, but without sound on. I don't think you guys are going to hear it. But yeah, so Munja was a great little project that I worked on. One of the last projects I worked on at DNEG. And I was tasked with coming up with a creature design for a small boy who is what do you call it? I don't want to say haunted, but is basically changed into a folklore demon or mythological demon that terrorizes the people of India, or this village in India. It's all done with mythology. Apparently, it's a lot to do with mythology. I could be a whole lot wrong, but this is what the director told me when we were talking about the design. So it kind of latches on to this one character. It's supposed to be kind of horror meets comedy. I think there's some comedic parts, but it's also supposed to be quite horror-like. But yeah, I came up with the whole design of the character from a drawing that they gave me. So they gave me a drawing. I'll show you the designs in a minute. But this is just a trailer of it, and yeah, it was an interesting piece because when I was working on it, I had to work late into the night or early in the morning. So early in the morning their side. I don't know how the time differences was, but there was one guy from America, the producer from America, who actually showed my work to the director, and the director said, "Oh yeah, I want that guy." So they got in contact with me when I was working at DNEG, and basically it's quite funny because the American guy who went out there to work and be the communicator between the parties, he had the shits quite a lot from when he was in India. One day he looked awful. Not to say that India is a bad place, but you know, if you're a Westerner going over to India, you're bound to get the shits. And he had to fight through that, and yeah, completely weird experience, basically, the go-to man. But anyway, so here's a couple of stills of the creature in the actual final film. I sculpted all that sort of detail on there, and then that is kind of like the poster concept. So he gave me a drawing. I wonder if I got the drawing. Oh, this is some of the concept work for the character creature. And you can see how I went from stage to stage, blocking out different versions of the creature with different attributes to him, obviously, taking in feedback from the director. There's a sort of close-up, so that's the image that he gave me of the creature, the sort of a very basic image of the creature, a basic drawing of the creature, and I then interpreted that in the one next to it, so it sort of fleshed it out a bit more, and you can see it kind of resembles him a little bit more. It's kind of like a golem type creature. That was what I was sort of told. It was it had to look like Gollum. Obviously it wasn't Gollum, but it had to have essence of Gollum in it. Then some larger images. So this technique that I used is what I normally use, this technique, for my other pieces, so it came quite easy to me. Just sculpt down to the bottom. Here's the actual final model. The trousers is just a stand-in, but the actual model itself is in here, and then it was fleshed out some more. And this is the artboard I was given, or I created, and you can kind of see how the drawing was when they gave it to me. That was the actual concept drawing. That's another concept drawing, and I created that poster and these other images out of it. And then we got loads of other references, sort of height scale and all that sort of thing, and posing. So yeah. Oh, here's some basic layouts of the final draft of the thing. But yeah, that was one of my shining achievements when I was working at DNEG. Because I had literal control from concept to final model. I didn't do the look dev, but for the rest of it, I had pretty much free will to do what I want with it, and make sure that I hit those points that the director wanted. Entertainment Jerk says the film was very good. for the budget they had. Yeah, it was a very low budget. It was a very small budget, but I think they did quite well with the budget. Just laughing at probably at the Delhi Belly. Damian Smith says, "Have you worked in the industry games or movies?" Yeah, I've worked in both games and movies. I've also been working. I've also got work in book covers. So I'll just pull this out. I don't know if you've seen this book cover before. John Gwynne, Shadow of the Gods. I did the book cover for that. I've also done his other book covers in that series, as well as the special edition book covers for his previous books. Kind of exclusive to at the moment, as he's a formal artist for his book covers. But yeah, I've dabbled in pretty much everything, even YouTube, video creation, graphic design. Kind of not a one-trick pony. I'm a what do you call that? A handyman, a CGI handyman, you could say. I've done nearly everything and to do with the entertainment industry, basically. All right, cool. So I think I'm gonna leave it there, guys. It's nearly 2 hours, and I'm tired. These live streams take it out of me. Yes, Damian Smith. Yes, jack of all trades is what they say. Is what you say. Yeah, that's the American colloquialism. That's the word. Determined Jack says, "How about the 3D print industry? I wanted to know, do you feel pay scale are getting smaller as AI is rising? I am new in the field." I think I have done some work in 3D printing. I've got my own 3D printers. I've only dabbled in that though, because I didn't get enough time to spend making 3D prints. Do you feel pay scale are getting smaller as AI is rising? I don't know about smaller. I think the amount of people who are losing their jobs is getting bigger, but the artists left behind, the ones that are essential to the studio, I guess you could say, I don't think their pay scale is getting smaller. I think they might be getting better because there's less people in the studios, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of a heads or tails at the moment when it comes to the AI and in the industry that we are in at the moment. That's a little bit of a let's see what happens moving forward, but I would recommend people try AI. Just try it. Just watch AI filmmakers on how they make films on YouTube, just so you get an idea of programs and the workarounds and the prompting and all that sort of thing, so you have an idea of how it works, because you never know, we might be switching over to AI completely in the future, because it'll just know everything that we want, and it'll just be more about typing what we want rather than sculpting what we want. And I mean, there's that video that's going around at the moment with Will Smith. I don't know if you saw the first AI video of Will Smith eating spaghetti. Yeah, we all laughed, right? We all laughed at that sort of shot of him eating spaghetti, because it was just like the face was just mangled and all screwed up. And then they recently just shared a new video of Will Smith eating spaghetti, and it looks like Will Smith is actually eating spaghetti. There's no flaws. And that was 4 years ago. I want to say 4 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. So yeah, AI is getting better, and the best thing you can do is keep up with it. I wouldn't bother fighting it. It's here for now, and try to. I mean, if you want a job in the industry, maybe just try it a little bit. You know. Entertainment Joke says, recently I'm getting more work of cleaning AI slop. Yeah, which tends to pay low. Yeah, I mean, AI slop is probably going to be the first thing that's going to be corrected, right? So I don't even know how you would clean up AI slop unless you're fixing the prompts. I'm not sure how that works, but I think what will be future is, instead of major studios, it's going to be smaller studios, like indie studios, like the gaming indie market at the moment, like indie game market, indie game studios. They're coming up really well, actually. You think about indie game studios are becoming so well known now that they're making full-length films of those games, right? You got Backrooms. That's an indie game, or small studio game. Then you had, well, you got Street Fighters, you got Mortal Kombat, you got the Mortree's Assistant. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that one, the Mortree's Assistant. That is a kind of an indie game. Became really well known. Now it's a film. So yeah, I think indie AI studios is what's probably going to be big in the future, where you get about 5 or 6 mates in a room with computers or the internet, and they're all working on the same project to make mini movies, mini episodic movies and stuff. I think that will probably be one of the big ones. Damien says that for the AI comes, do workers become obsolete? No, not at all. I don't think if AI comes that workers will be obsolete. As I mentioned before, workers will switch to prompters, right? So instead of, because let me just show you that film again. So you got this geezer, right? Leonard Smith. And I actually have the footage here. And he's actually showing you what he has to do in order to make this film work properly. And how many of these, see these little slice, oh hold on, can't see it, one second. You see these little video sections in here that he's cut up? Those are the best versions of what he was able to create using AI. And then he cut it down into a 5-minute sort of film. But if you go back here, you can see how he's fixing the AI prompt for a certain scene. So you're still going to need artists, right, to create AI stuff. So artists are still going to be very useful. More useful, I think, than just people who know how to type. Because an actual artist will be able to see or know what a good camera angle is to use in a specific shot, how to fix something using Photoshop, like he's doing now. He's fixing a portion of his film using Photoshop, and then he's going to generate that film again later. So again, skills in Photoshop, skills in Premiere Pro, so editing and making, look, you see there, he just one second. If I go back 1 second, I'll show you. So you see this guy here, when he first iterated that character, it came out like that, and that's not very good for AI film or AI video creation. So he had to go back in and then regenerate that character, put him back into the same spot on this image, and then export that image as the new film still to start from, in order to get a better result. So it's, yeah, you're not going to just have people who can type a good script and then AI can spit out a good film. It's never going to happen. Maybe in about 5 years time, but by then artists who use AI are going to be so much further along than artists or AI prompters. I call them prompters, people who can just write a script and then make a video, because AI artists have the knowledge of how things were made before AI, so how to fix things before AI, and I think that's what's going to be a massive a massive thing for people who are starting. If they can be like if they have the knowledge of art as well as the knowledge of AI, they'll be able to make their own TV shows, their own films, their own everything, their own advertisement for advertising brands, because you know that's going to happen sooner or later. They're already doing it now. So yeah, you know, artists are going to be are going to benefit from this quite well. Comics Legend says they have AI websites where you can have multiple people on the same project, all connected with the same mood board, canvas, and everyone working at the same time, all collaborating, no physical studio needed. Exactly. I mean, for my job, we have a board, we have something called Miro, which is a massive whiteboard, digital whiteboard, where we put all our work in. Because I work from home, I work remotely, and so does everyone else. So that's how we work. We work using Miro. And the same thing as Comics Legend just said there, you know, that you could use an AI website to collaborate with other artists to make this film or make a product. So yeah, you know, don't fight it. You know you're not going to win. We would have won by now if we had, but we haven't. So it looks like it's here to stay. And the best thing to do is just to learn from it, or learn a little bit about it, so that you don't get caught out. Basically, it's the story that I like to tell. It's actually my father's story, right? So he was a draftsman, a proper draftsman back in the day, where they had these big whiteboards, or these big boards, right, massive boards, not A3, but like A1 boards, like huge drawing boards. And they all sat in lines and drew on these whiteboards, on these big boards, like structural engineering stuff, you know, proper stuff, not like what we're doing, this sort of fun stuff. He actually did proper stuff, like proper designs for nuclear reactors and turbines and you know, that sort of thing. And one day he was working, and his line manager came in, his boss, and he said he sort of came to the court, the sort of the ballroom, the sort of drafts room, and he told everyone, look, we have a new piece of technology, and we're going to set it up in the next room. It's called a computer, and it's going to be the future. And apparently he said that, my dad said that the draftsmen around him all laughed, right? They all sniggered and said under their breath, oh yeah, that's bullshit. And so the boss told my father to learn this program, learn how it works in your spare time, and you know, it'll be something for you to look into. My dad, knowing that the computer that he was going to learn was going to be the next step in the evolution of draftsmen, decided to go for it, right? So he started to learn how to use the computer, and now he's still a draftsman, but he knows the old ways, from hand drawing to the new ways of computer. So he actually stepped over the Rubicon and went forward with technology. And the people who didn't, apparently there's a couple of people who didn't, a couple of draftsmen who sort of said to the line manager, you know, that's never gonna cotton on, that's never gonna be something that takes off, you know, it's gonna disappear in a few weeks time or whatever. It's never gonna cotton on because it's not enough computing power, and we can do this so much better on draft boards. Well, apparently they all got fired. They all lost their jobs to a computer, apart from my dad. He managed to keep his job, and then he started to sort of teach other people how to use this technology. So yeah, that's how you gotta see it. It's never going to be around forever. You always have to change with the times. For the lucky few like me, who's been able to live in the period where we use ZBrush and we had specific rules about not using AI, or not having AI at all, we were lucky, and now we have to move on to the AI the AI generation. Before 3D, it was stop motion. Before stop motion, it was 2D. Before 2D, it was, I don't know, bloody cave paintings on the wall. Whatever, you know. You just have to keep evolving and moving forward. Otherwise, you will be left behind, and then you definitely have to find another job. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say about it. Sorry to put downer on it. I didn't want to. I just wanted to get your thoughts really about the AI apocalypse, as they call it. Yeah, so Tomorrow says, "I'm fighting it just to be different." All right, well, you let me know how that turns out. Yeah, no, seriously, though, you can't fight it forever, and it's just here. It's here to stay for now, so you might as well get used to it. They're never going to stop iterating. I mean, look at I don't know if you guys played the stock market or even AMD, the microchip creator, AMD, even their stock is going up, right? And Nvidia's stock is going up. It's because of a high demand for AI learning systems and AI and computing systems to accommodate AI. Damien says, last question. What is a character modeler's job if AI exists? Well, good question. I guess if you wanted to be more authentic than other AI artists, then you could still sculpt your model. So take this character we have here. It's part of the Halo universe, right? But it's not made with AI. So you could essentially say that this is an original idea, even though it's an offshoot of Halo. But it's an original idea. It's not just something you've scooped out of AI generator. But so what you could do is you could put this into AI and let AI sort of clean it up, give it a bit of texture, then create a character sheet using AI, as well as renders of your model. That's probably how you can still be a character modeler or creature modeler if you wanted to be more specific about the design that you want AI to follow. Because if you try to put into AI at the moment, oh, I want a demon with horns and wings, it's going to give you a demon with horns and wings, but it might not be the exact demon and horns and wings that you want, or what the producer wants. So what they'll probably do is have like an artist, a character artist, or concept modeling artist, more precisely, who will sculpt the demon exactly how the director wants it. Sort of quick sculpted. Then they would put that into AI generating and say keep it consistent, because there are now techniques that you can use to keep it consistent. And that will be the character artist's job then, would to be making creatures, fantastical creatures still in ZBrush, and then put it into AI to enhance the details that have, enhance the details of the creature that you've created. I mean, they do that already. If you think of the pipeline, it's really just getting rid of a lot of the back end of the pipeline. So you just keep the first half and you get rid of the big end, or the big end piece, which is a lot of jobs, obviously. But yeah, I guess that's how character art is still going to be useful for AI stuff. Because like I said, you can get pretty good results with AI generating, but if you have a model and you pump that model and you say you want exactly this, and it's an original idea and it's not copying someone else, then how can it be copying other people's work? It might use references of other people's work, but you do that anyway with art. So I don't know. Conversation says, right now probably cleaning up AI models and small redesigns, retopology. Once that is figured out, probably just organizing projects, ideas, and generating. Damien says, what AI softwares can make models when given it a prompt? Oh, there are a couple. There is a couple of AI websites or AI prompters out there that can actually give you a 3D model, but you're still going to have a better AI reference, because it's not a model, it's a reference when it turns into an image for the AI to use in the film. If you have one like this, so if you had a character like this and you take a screen grab from the front and a screen grab from the side, back, and 3/4, and you pump that into a AI reference, then at least the AI knows exactly what it wants you to have in your film. But yeah, no, there is some AI systems out there that can actually make 3D models, like base models. But you have to be very precise. I guess you have to be very precise. I haven't looked into it 100%. But I guess you'd have to be very precise in what you want your model to look like with the prompt. Whereas this way, you can sculpt it and use that as your reference for the AI. Yeah, I think AI is going to be very difficult because of the amount of text that you have to write. And apparently, I hate to say it, but kids today are finding it hard to even read, and getting kids to write or type like proper commands is going to be something funny to see. I mean, you got like kids in England who don't know basic maths. I've seen some of those videos online where they don't know basic maths. They go to the kids on the streets and they ask them what's 2 + 2 or what's 7 × 7 and stuff like that. And they have no idea. Some of them don't even know what a clock, a 12-hour clock looks like, or how it works, like the minute hand and the hour hand. So when it comes to AI prompting, it's going to be interesting to see what people do, because you have to actually have a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of we got brain work when it comes to doing prompts in AI generators. So what do you call it? They call it problem solving. Yeah, problem solving skills. And not a lot of kids have problem solving skills these days. They're quite thick. Then it says, follow up is, what company is going to pay someone a salary just for idea generation? Oh, okay. Probably just have a small skeleton crew team doing all that. Yeah. At some point they will find people who are really good with the AI generating, and they will want them on the team, so they will pay them a salary to do it. I mean, yeah, you know, if you have skills, someone will pay for it. I guess is the way that works. Anyway, enough of that. It's now 2 hours in. I have to go to bed. I hope everyone's enjoyed this live stream. I will finish this Halo model off screen, or the clean up high poly sculpting. Next week, Monday, we're working on the Prowler tutorial, so we're going to carry on with the detailing of the Prowler model from Doom. And I hope everybody's had a good week. I hope everyone has a good weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday. Turn off the music. Here we go. All right, guys. Take care.
Thanks for watching. If you're interested in more exclusive content and want to support my work further, then please check out my Patreon page at MLW_creative for more. Also, view past live streams you might have missed. in Tier 3 tutorial support, where I will be archiving future streams moving forward. If you are interested in other full-length tutorials, brushes, and models, then check out my online stores for more useful content. I would also like to thank all my subscribers and patrons for supporting me for this long. Again, thanks for watching and stay safe.